He woke up one day and couldn't remember anything. He didn't know who he was, where he was, or even how he got there. All he knew was that he had to get back home. But as days turned into weeks, he began to lose hope. Was it possible for him to ever get his life back on track? And if so, how could he do it? Welcome to our channel, where today we will be sharing with you the incredible story of a man who woke up one day and couldn't remember anything. Make sure to watch until the end, because this story has a surprising twist that you won't want to miss. He began searching for clues on his own, looking for anything that could help him remember who he was. He went through old photos, diaries, and letters, but nothing jogged his memory. He felt like he was trapped in a maze with no way out. It seemed like his entire life had been wiped away, and he was left with nothing but a few fragmented memories and a sense of dread. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. He remembered his name, his face, and his family. He remembered his life before the accident and the events that had led up to it. He remembered everything. The monk was overjoyed. Also, if you like this story, don't forget to leave us a like. Thank you for watching. See you next time. He couldn't believe that he had finally gotten his memories back. He felt like he had been given a second chance at life. He felt like he was making no headway in his quest to reclaim his past. He traveled the world teaching meditation and mindfulness, sharing his story and helping people find peace in their own lives. He never forgot the feeling of waking up without any memories, but he also never let it define him. Instead, he used his experience to help others and make the world a better place. He told them about his lack of progress and his growing sense of despair. He explained that sometimes the best way to move forward is to let go of the past. He felt more at peace with his situation and less anxious about the future. He also began to have small glimpses of his past, memories that were fragmented but still vivid. These memories weren't enough to give him a full picture of his life, but they were a start. They gave him hope that with enough time and effort, he could remember everything. At first, the monk found it difficult to focus his mind and let go of his need for answers. He kept replaying memories in his head, trying to make sense of them. But with practice, he began to get better at being in the present moment. George listened patiently and then offered to help. He suggested that the monk try a different approach, one that focused on meditation and mindfulness rather than on external clues. The monk wasn't sure if it would work, but he was desperate to try anything at this point. So he agreed to give it a shot. He began to feel hopeless and thought that maybe he was just meant to live the rest of his life without any memories. But then he remembered something. There was a lama and master of meditation named Dorje Sherpa Rinpoche who had taken an interest in his case. Maybe he could help. The first thing Dorje noticed was that the patient seemed to be in a deep state of confusion and distress. He had no idea where he was or why he was there. The doctors had done some tests, but they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. They couldn't find anything physically wrong, but they couldn't explain why he had no memory of anything at all. This is the tale of a Tibetan monk who lost all his memories after an accident. He woke up one morning and found himself in a hospital bed. As he looked around the room, he saw unfamiliar faces staring back at him with concern. He wanted to know who he was, where he was from, and how he got to the care facility. He spent hours talking to doctors and nurses, trying to piece together some fragments of his past, but no one had any answers for him. He felt like a character in a movie who had just woken up from a dreamless sleep with no idea how they got there. Everything was new and strange, and he felt completely alone in the world. They were doctors and nurses, but they didn't seem to recognize him. He tried to speak, but his throat was hoarse and no sound came out. He tried again and again until finally a nurse leaned closer and asked, "Do you know who you are?" He shook his head slowly, tears welling up in his eyes. It was then that the nurse realized he had no memory of who he was or how he got to the hospital. He was soon transferred to a care facility where an experienced lama and master of meditation named Dorje Sherpa Rinpoche took charge of his case. The monk was desperate to find out what had happened to him and why he couldn't remember anything. It was at this point that the monk decided to take matters into his own hands. As time went on, the monk became increasingly frustrated with his lack of progress. The monk reached out to Dorje and explained his situation. Dorje taught the monk how to focus his mind on the present moment and to let go of the need to remember everything. As the monk practiced meditation and mindfulness, he began to notice small changes in himself. One day, while the monk was meditating, he had a breakthrough. From that day on, the monk dedicated his life to helping others. If you have watched this far, please write memories in the comments below to confirm that you have received the message.